Shalom, peace, Black love, and Black power. And of course, in the foundation, all praise and glory and dedication goes to Yahahwah Echad, Bahashem Yahushai. And that's important that I say that because everything is under the dominion of the Almighty Power. Everything that exists beyond this realm. Peace, DJ Moss. And if everything when I say everything that exists beyond this realm, I'm talking about beyond where we live and what we have dominion over. Now, before I get started, I just want to let everyone know that will be listening to this, that these are my views. Of course, this is my channel. I totally respect the views of others, and I would appreciate that I receive the same respect. Now, if a person doesn't agree with what I'm about to start getting into, that's healthy if we can dialogue about it in a healthy way. But anyway, I want to get into 1 second. I want to talk about the spirit realm and how we interact with the spirit realm and how the spirits interact with us. Now, there's a lot to go into. So first and foremost, let me read this scripture that I put in my on the screen as my name. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? So that's just one of the scriptures out of the Bible that says we have dominion not only over physical matter in this world, such as like earthlings and all other creation. We have dominion over spirits. And the reason I'm really, of course, the Bible is my foundation, the book that I go to with my understanding. But the reason I really want to come from, that I especially want to come from a biblical stance, first and foremost, is because so many of our brothers and sisters who claim to be spiritual, say they're in the Bible, say they're set apart and holy, so many of them are so locked in a low state of understanding and have so much fear about the spirit world. Even if it's, anything that is about spiritual or paranormal, even metaphysical, our people, especially the ones who have are in the Bible, tend to be very afraid and have an aversion to even the mention of spirits, and especially the mention of what, for lack of better words, demons. Now, I don't typically use that word unless I have to have a dialogue about malevolent spirits. But in this discussion, or in this stream, I'm going to use the word demon, and it will be to describe what we would call malevolent spirits. And I want to say shalom to DJ Moss, Unru, and Solo the Pro, Cut King. Peace to you, brothers. Now, if I miss somebody that comes into the chat, it's, I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I have so much respect and so much love for all the people that come over and take their time out to listen to me. But in this particular stream, I'm going to really be focusing a lot on staying on track with my thought, because this is a lot to talk about. But again, I'm checking the chat periodically just to say, show the love back, because I appreciate the energy that comes from people who support me and who are not malicious. With that said, getting back into what I'm discussing about spirit, even the energy that is given out from people online, that is a spiritual, that can be broken down to be explained as something spiritual. So really the word energy, spirit, and even the word soul, they are synonymous, but they do have different distinctions. So a soul is an individual part of someone's self. It is like your signature spirit, your fingerprint, with the energy that's been bestowed upon you from the Almighty power, from what you say, the Most High. People say God, but I'm going to say the Almighty power. So the Almighty power is also the ultimate source and the almighty force. So the power comes down from another, I'll say down, but outside of this realm. The reason I say down is just to give you an opportunity to visualize that you are, and we as human beings, we are not equal. It's impossible to be equal to the infinite, unbridled, unadulterated power of the Almighty Source. Now, for those who are in doubt of that, I just want to ask you: is it possible for one individual to receive all the power, to be able to, equate or stand next to all the power that is sourced or that is coming down to give life to every living thing in this realm, every earthling, every organism, every microorganism included? Like, you got to look at it in that way. That's why, because I've had a lot of people tell me, no, we are the source, and that's okay. But from a logical standpoint, even though I'm speaking about the spirit world metaphysically, from a logical standpoint, you as one individual cannot put yourself on the same level as the ultimate almighty source, the almighty power, the Most High, what people say God. So getting that out of the way, there is a method to what I'm getting at. There's a reason I'm saying this. So there is order. You look around the whole world, the earth and the world, but just in living organisms, in different ecosystems, everything is in order. It's not chaos. It may look like chaos to the untrained eye, some situations, but everything is order. So we must understand that we receive power from the almighty power, the almighty source, and we as individuals, human beings, the beautiful part of that is this is our realm. Now I'm getting to, what the video or the stream is actually supposed to be about. This is our realm. We have dominion. And, off the rip, when you hear that, you say, oh, yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, Adam was given dominion over all the animals and all the beasts of the field and every creeping thing. And I'll get back to the definition and my interpretation of the word creeping thing, of the phrase. Now, knowing that we have all dominion over this realm, the amazing part is it's not just dominion over matter. We have dominion over energy. We have dominion over spirit. Wrap your minds around that. We have dominion over absolutely everything that vibrates and exists in this realm. Now, some people that are in the Bible, they say, oh, there was a very ignorant person who was being malicious, saying, a so-called Hebrew Israelite said, oh, she's not really a Hebrew Israelite. Have you ever heard Hebrew Israelites talk about vibration and vibrating on a different level? Yeah, that's what the spirit is. Spirit is frequency. It's energy. That is how we exist. The life that comes from the almighty power, that life is an energy. So it's all about vibration. It's all about energy, which translates into this realm for like in quantum physics, you know, that to help people wrap their minds around it, people who cannot look beyond what is physical and material, they have to make a science and study what we know as the spirit. Okay, so back to what I was saying, the amazing blessing is that we are vibrating, we are existing in this realm which we've been given, and we have dominion over all. I just for some of my brothers and sisters who are in the scriptures, I'm just going to grab this one scripture from Genesis and I'll read it. Genesis 1 verse 26 says, and God, the Most High, said, let us make man in our image. Now, that was the Elohim, by the way. And that's a whole different lane that I'm not going to even get into. But that was the Elohim. So in this realm, okay, the Elohim said amongst each other, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon earth. Now, that's absolutely everything in this realm. Everything in this realm we have dominion over. I'm not looking at the chat, so just give me 1 second. So I'm going to take a look. I haven't even done this, so I'm just doing this with everybody right now. Let's look at the Hebrew, just for the just for the heck of it. Let's look at the Hebrew and see what, 1 second, I did the wrong thing. Let's see what that word creepeth means. Yes, I'm going to use the blue letter. Just to see the Hebrew though, okay? So Genesis chapter 1, and that will be verse 26. Okay, so let me get that. Okay, give me 1 moment, please. Going down over the fish, over the fowl, every creeping thing. Let's see what that is. Hebrew 7431. So H7431 is, let me see how to say it. Remes. Okay. So what is remes? I'm curious. Remes, outline of the biblical usage, creeping things, moving things, creeping organisms, which would be creeping things, gliding things such as sea animals, moving things. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So I got a notification I was reading. Yes, just a moment. So creeping things, remes is like a reptile. Oh, it's from 7430. That's the root. A reptile or any other rapidly moving animal that creepeth, creeping, moving thing. So for me, because it's Strong's, I hear that and I say, okay, something that is moving over the earth. And to be honest, that word creeping thing, I consider anything in this realm anything, even if we say, oh, it's the spirit, it's spiritual, I'm going back to energy. Remember, I'm correlating spirit, I'm correlating everything to energy when I talk about spirit. So when I do that, and we talk about the quantum world, we can therefore say spirit is a type of, how can you say, something existing in this realm. So I'm kind of putting it in a scientific way. With speaking of spirit, it's not just because some people say, you know, I don't believe in God, and I want to see, prove it. Well, I don't have a lot of time to do that for people. They got to find out on their own. But for me, I'm absolutely 100% sure, and there's science behind this, that there is, how can you say it? There is energy. There is energy that exists that we obviously cannot see. I mean, we're all talking about the 5G even. So you say that to somebody and they're like, oh, that's okay. So you have to look at it in that sense, because there are different types of energies. There are three that we know. There's radiation, magnetism, and electric energy. So those are the energies that are just known by mankind. You know, mankind knows. But imagine all the other energies that we could say, aka spirit. I hope I'm not being too confusing, but there, you know, put your seatbelts on, because there is a method to this, because I'm going to start discussing what we call demons and what we would call gods. When I read that verse in Genesis, talked about the Elohim. Oh, Solo, the pro cut king. Oh yeah. That, I'm not debating her. No, not that I know of. No, brother, she won't debate me. But yeah. So let me think. Okay, so now with all this understood, we know that we have dominion. The scriptures, for those out there who are have an aversion to discussing demons and so-called, you know, that malevolent energy, have an aversion to that. This is in the Bible. The Bible speaks about demons all through the book, and speaks about these malevolent spirits. The New Testament especially has so many instances recorded of the Messiah and the apostles and other disciples driving out demonic spirits, right? So, I mean, I could just for the, again, hello, Gennaro Brooklyn, peace to you. I'm gonna grab just for the sake of staying strong against these Christianites, because there are a lot of Hebrew Israelites that are terrified to speak about what is in the Bible, which is demons and basically demonology, the study of demons. That it teaches, the Bible teaches you, it gives you the tools to fight spirits. You know, even in Ephesians chapter 6, Paul says we battle not with just flesh and blood. Paul breaks down what I was trying to kind of allude to, well, what I was alluding to in Genesis, that those creeping things are not only animals. Of course, Strong's is going to say animals, but the creeping things, because it talks about, let's go back to that verse before I go to Paul. Let me go back to that verse. Okay, so in Genesis 1. Okay, I just had it and now I don't have it. That's great. Perfect. Okay, so in Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 26, Listen carefully. It says what we have. It says, and God, I'm going to read it verbatim. And God, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Okay, dominion over what? Covers the fish. It says over fish. Okay, so that's already covered. Of the sea, over the fowl, that's covered. Of the air, and over the cattle, that's covered. And over all the earth. So everything's been covered. But then it says, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. That's speaking about spirits, about what some call demons and angels and gods and lesser gods and Heka and all of these different labels that have been put on these creeping things. Okay, so yeah, let me get back to StreamYard and take a look at what the family's saying. Okay. All right, so now that we know, we have, this is exciting. We are the powers. Shalom, Dex T. Israel. Shabbat shalom to you. This is not, actually, I do a lunar Shabbat, but I totally respect everyone who does their Shabbat tonight. So yes, bless the Shabbat to those who are practicing Shabbat tonight. Everything is so tied together. Oh, my mind is just racing, because even saying how we do rituals and we honor certain days, it's all based on staying in your position of power. Listen to me carefully. When you're on your journey toward truth, you start to understand, I have a position in this realm. Even to those brothers and sisters who don't follow the Bible, you cannot deny that you have a position that was set forth for you in this realm. There's a specific place. Now, even the atheist cannot deny that. And if the atheist denies that, then I would like for that atheist to go to the zoo and live in the cages with all the animals and not live amongst us. See what I'm saying? There's an order. So we have a position, and our position, the more you get informed and you travel down your path and you meditate, pray, and you fast, you open yourself up to the higher power, the almighty, only power, not the higher, but the highest. Because there is no power higher than all mankind in general. Wrap your mind around that. You are the ultimate power on the earth. Just because a lion can eat a man, and a lion and a gorilla is stronger than a man has the mind and the intelligence to have dominion and put that beast that is stronger and fiercer, put that beast in submission. We've seen it all the time, and we've marveled at it when we see certain people in the cage, hugging a tiger, a Bengal tiger, and telling the tiger, sit down. And this tiger does it. It's because we have dominion. A tiger could never put us in a position where we obey. Now, will it put our lives in danger and threaten us? And then in that way, you could call it submission, but that's just, that's not a person relinquishing power over. That's a person being killed or their lives being taken. So my point. What I'm saying is, we are the power. We are the gods of this realm. It is in order. It is in scripture. It's right there in Psalms 82 verse 6. It says, ye are gods. But then 82:7 says, but you will die like men. Meaning, if you're a god in this realm. We have dominion over everything, power, every everything that exists, not just physical. We have dominion over spirits. Let me get back to 1 Corinthians and say this again. Let me say it one more time so keep it fresh in our minds. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 3 says, know ye not that we shall judge angels? What are angels? Angels are spirits. They are spirits that can travel from this realm to the heavenly realm, in the realm where which is beyond us, where there is power, where the power is coming from, in a sense, you understand, from outside of ourselves. Now, some people like to argue and say, well, this is the pride of man. And this is why pride leads to destruction. And when I say the pride of man, I mean mankind. Some people say, no, the power is inside of me. Well, the power is inside of you once you submit to the Almighty Source so you can receive the power. Otherwise, the power will not be in you. And you know what? You've now lost your godhood. You've now put yourself on the level of something else. When people worship other spirits, and I don't mean when they honor. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. That's gonna add to all the slander saying NapahShadah a witch. I'm not a witch. I know what the spirit is. We give honor to each other. We give honor to those who have left this realm, great people. The scriptures say, honor thy mother and thy father. It doesn't say, but when they're dead, you don't have to honor them anymore. You get what I'm saying? The scriptures say, honor thy mother and thy father. That means honor them perpetually, honor them always. And obviously, that means to honor your ancestors. Now, does that mean that you go to put up a shrine and pray to your ancestors? Look, if you do that, you have a journey of your own. But that is what you're doing is you're limiting your power. And your ancestors don't want you to do that because your ancestors serve the Almighty Source. And your ancestors want you. They want the honor, but they don't want you to serve them because, newsflash, don't forget that you have all dominion. So you are to be served by spirits and anything else that is in this realm. It's supposed to be under your submission. You're judging these spirits. Does that mean white people had dominion over blacks based on how we allow them to treat us? No, because we don't allow them to treat us that way, brother. Come on, brother. We don't allow them to treat us this way. This whole realm is out of order because people who have a different type of energy, a different spirit, and it can't be denied at all by anyone, even if you follow the Bible or don't, you don't. What do they say black people have? Type it in the chat. I'm gonna sit back and wait and see if anybody's listening. What do they always say we have? Anybody out there? Nobody? Okay. Well, it's said that black people have soul. And the reason that's said is because we've got this type of energy, the spirit that dwells with us, and our souls are set apart. So we don't allow them to have dominion over us. That's kind of the same idea, brother, as what I said with the wild animals, like the beast, like the gorilla or the lion taking us over. You understand? So yeah, you could look at them as beasts out of order, because we're all out of this realm is out of order. So back to what I was saying about us having dominion over spirits. Let's talk about demons. Okay. One West says black people are cursed. Okay. Well, anyway, y'all go ahead and discuss that. Yes, yes, Unru, exactly. Let me put that up there. Bingo. There you go. Bless you, brother. That's the point. Slaves on horseback, while princes go. You know what? And I love that scripture. I'm glad you reminded me of that scripture. Thank you. That's Ecclesiastes, right? Okay, so back to what I was saying about demons. So this is a stream about demons. This is an intro, demons and gods. So some people make the mistake of serving. You know the scripture that says serve the creature instead of the creation? That's the same thing. It's not just speaking about, oh, just a bear. I worship the bear god. No, no, no. It's about serving ultimately the spirit. Okay? Yes, the world is out of order. The spirit of whatever. You don't serve anything that is beneath you. You don't serve it in the way. I'm not saying you don't love the earth, and I'm not saying you just ignore, the ancestors and the realm that we're in, and everything that has a spirit. No, I'm not saying you don't serve it in that way. Like stray cats outside and down in the alley, you see them. She just had kittens. You go, oh, I'm gonna go bring that cat some milk. Oh no, wait, I can't because I don't serve animals. That's not my point, okay? There are some people out there that just sometimes get real simple. I'm saying you don't let another existing force have dominion over you. You don't ask permission or for protection even. And let me tell you, that when I mention Heka, which is very interesting, and I'll speak about Heka, and I'll speak about the Catholic religion with saints, which there's a correlation there. You do not ask other spirits, lesser spirits, for protection. You don't do that. You don't do that because you know what happens. The spirit number one is in order, whether or not people say, well, this demonic spirit is making chaos. The spirit is in order doing what a spirit should do, if we were talking about a demon, okay? Now, the spirit never goes against the Almighty Source. And that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around because they're saying, well, why would God kill? What? This isn't about that. See, it's not a fairy tale, good versus evil, who will win? It's about power. It's about order, submission to the Almighty Source, getting the power, and then using it yourself in this realm. We're gods of this realm. And when we serve other spirits lesser than us, that particular spirit has permission, for lack of better words, to keep this very basic, has permission to mock you, ridicule you, torment you, and ultimately destroy you. That is how the realm, that's how it works. And if it's hard for you to see that in a spiritual sense, let's go back to nature. I've been using it. This is very interesting to me that I'm being led to use a lot of analogies in nature, which I have to look back at this and wonder why. I'll figure this out later, meditate on this. But let's go back to the natural wilderness, or the wild world, right? So if you go and you live in a cave with a bear, and you just are there, and maybe you brought a leg of lamb or a side of beef, and for a minute the bear, oh, I'm not going to eat you. You brought me a side of beef. Once that beef is gone, you're going to have to keep on giving something to that bear so it won't tear you to shreds. But even sometimes you might still be giving something. The bear might just resent you and then be like, I'm going to kill this person. I'm sick of just the presence of this person. So the bear will kill you because you gave service to this bear, which, why would you do that? You're a higher being. But people do it all the time with spirit. They set up altars to certain, I'm doing air quotes, gods and goddesses. Even if we're talking about Hindu, the goddess Kali, who is a very formidable spirit, but it could also be the god. It could be, you know, compared to the goddess Oya, you know, the Orisha in African spiritualism. So if you start serving, if you try to serve Oya or Kali, you got to bring something. And the minute you don't bring what you've been bringing, it's kind of almost like extortion. But you can't blame, and I will say this clearly, we will not put blame on the spirits, because it's our responsibility to know the order, respect the almighty power, and use, hear me carefully, use the power of everything that we have dominion over. Now, right there, I know I'm losing a lot of Hebrew Israelites and Christians, but just a second. Needed to take a little sip of my tea so I can get this out correctly. The scripture says, you have dominion over all the earth and over everything existing, not here, existing. Now, knowing that, you have a responsibility to move correctly as a God. Now, we're not gods until we don't borrow money from them. We're not gods, exactly. We're not gods until we follow our journey. Well, we all are meant to be gods, but a lot of us lose our godhood because we serve material. You understand? The Psalms 82 verse 7, you die as men. That means you take yourself down from one level and you bring yourself down a few notches. Return of the thumb. Your energy is bedtime soothing and ballistic blessings. Oh, wow. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's a very wonderful compliment. I'm glad that this is pleasing to most people right now, because, you know, it is a very thin line between how do you say, between going into idolatry and a thin line between idolatry and utilizing your power that's been bestowed upon you. You know, give me 1 second, you guys. Just 1 second. I won't even be long. I just have to I have to reply to a message. So yeah, so type in the chat, but so far, thank you for that compliment. But so far, what do you ladies and gentlemen, whoever's listening, what do you think? Tell me what you think. Are you getting it? Yes, I am live on my channel. I'm typing. I'm letting y'all in. I'm letting you in. I'm letting you in on the message that I'm replying to. I am live on my channel. Okay, where was I? Now, back to what I was talking about. You know, it is so exciting to me. It is so exciting to me that it's so fascinating, the power that the Almighty bestows upon us. That's why I really felt compelled to start this discussion. Because, hello, Yahahwah. Shalom. What? Okay. Let's be serious right now, Yahahwah, because this is a very interesting, very spiritual topic. That we all we all own this in a sense. You understand what I'm saying, everyone? We own this. There is no one that can say, oh, well, when I was born into this world, I didn't have the ability to have dominion. No, no, this is our, what do you say? What's this like? This is our lane. This is where what we're meant to do. When we're born, when we're conceived in the womb, we are meant to, hey there, Rob. Much love to you, brother Rob Rack. My brother Rob Rack in the house. I'm doing a stream on you saw the title, but anyway, hey brother. So when we were conceived in the womb, we were conceived to come into this realm and rule it. I mean, I always say wrap your, but really, let's just, everyone sit back and marinate on that. I'm getting emotional. And I know see, we don't really, that kind of talk is so, we hear it so much that it's like we're desensitized to it. But do we really sit back and think about that? No matter who you are, no matter what book you read and follow, no matter what belief you have, you cannot deny that you were born into this realm as a human to rule. Amazing. Amazing. It's amazing. It's just, because see, when you think like that, you start to break out of your box. You know, you start to elevate. You get out of that. You get off the one floor in the basement, and you start going up, breaking through the ceiling and going, traveling higher and higher until you finally get to the place where you're supposed to be, where we were supposed to be since the beginning of time in creation. We were made to rule this realm. Return of the Thump says, you have been on a scale of lifting and transition the entire time, and the ride is gravitational, not just others, but self sharing the experience. Yes, definitely. That's exactly what I was saying. So knowing this, let's get back to these spirits. Now, right now, this is just going to be me kicking some stuff around here. Oh, hey, Sonetter's here. Hi, Sonetter. Shalom. Peace and black love. Much love to you, Sonetter. And much love to the HOK. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you, Sonetter. So we you threw me off, Sonetter. Okay, no, really though. Let's get back to the demons when I was saying demons and spirits. Because you know the word demon, we put that label on these spirits. Okay, thank you. We put these labels on ourselves, just like the brother says, I'm his favorite Hebrew, but thank you. That's a wonderful compliment. When we're born into this realm, right away, we're born into labels. Oh, I'm not saying that we're not supposed to be man and woman, male and female. I don't want to get into that. But you see, everything is a slippery slope, and so you have to walk a thin line when you talk about what is best for us. Because if you go off too far to the right or left, you end up everything starts to become chaotic and it falls apart. So getting back to the spirits, we put the label demon on a spirit that might be malevolent. So a malevolent spirit, a spirit that from the surface, it seems harmful, but we already went over why. Remember, I talked about if you go into a cave and you bring a side of beef to a bear, you know, the bear before you went in the cave, the bear wasn't evil, right? Before you brought the beef to the bear and gave the bear the beef, during that time, the bear's not evil. I'm doing air quotes. But once the bear attacks you and rips you to shreds and then eats you, then it becomes, I'm doing the air quotes, malevolent. You see what I'm getting at? Please really uh, meditate on that, because see, the spirits that are in this realm are put into this realm to be in service to us. But some people make the mistake of either, oh, by the way, when I say serve, it's not just about putting an altar up and going and praying to that spirit. You also serving it by being afraid of it. When I say serve, the word serve is, I'm being very, very broad. You are in submission to it. It has dominion over you if you fear the spirit. That's very important, because even people, back to the people who, will say, oh, Nepal, you're going down the road of witchcraft and she's evil. See, no, this is all in the Bible. Because doesn't the Bible say not to fear those who can kill the body, but fear the ones who can kill the body and the soul? What demon, I'm doing air quotes again, could kill the soul? Nothing. So when you fear anything that is a lower spirit, then you are serving that spirit. That spirit now has dominion over you. I'm telling you the truth, and that's what the problem is. Even if you look at it on, like I said, I try to keep it on a level where people who may not fully believe in the spirit world and demons. Look, when people smoke crack and they continue to smoke crack, they're serving that drug that they once said, oh, this is going to benefit me. Whoo, I'm having a good time. But then they turn around 3 months later, you're not having a good time. Your hair and your teeth are falling out. But you still are smoking crack. So they serve that particular existence. I want to say existence because that'll cover spirit and material. Okay, that'll cover energy, things that are unseen, and it will cover things that are material that we can see or touch. Okay, so yeah, I think I made that clear that when you fear spirits and you fear and you go to spirits and say, oh, spirit, Baba Legba. And I'm not even being disrespectful because for me, I understand the powers. I don't need the label on it, but I'm just saying it because I'm communicating to people who don't aren't in my head. So when someone goes to Baba Legba and says, oh, Baba Legba, please, bring me this wife or bring me this husband. And also I need a brand new Mercedes. And they do the rituals to serve. It's not that Baba Legba, that spirit, is like, oh, yes, only serve me and never serve the Almighty. It's not that. Because that's how people think of demons. And I say demons very loosely. That's how people imagine demons are. Like, that demon wants all your power. Well, wait a minute. You came to there. You know how many people are serving lesser existences than themselves? You're feeding into it. Of course, it's going to be like extortion. You keep on going to someone who is not even on your level. Let's say a frenemy, and you keep on paying that person to tell you things like, tell me you're my friend, and you keep on, and then you're going broke. Of course, that person's going to keep on be like, oh, hold on, I got to talking to somebody. I got to take this call. This is my frenemy friend. The stupid ass keeps on feeding into me. I'll call you back. I got to take some money from this person. Of course, you're going to keep it because that person doesn't have any respect for you. It's the same thing with the spirits. They don't respect you. They will give you what you ask for only for a certain amount of time. I promise you. And there are people out there that I respect. There are big newsflash. There are people, voodoo priests and priestesses that understand this. There are Hindu people who worship what is it? the pantheist, or they worship many gods. There's a small handful, a very small a number of people who understand you have to serve the one almighty source, and everything else comes under that. You understand? Like, everything else comes under that. I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself with this. Is just an intro. I don't want to get too deep, because I don't want to lose people and have people thinking, oh, well, Nepah's telling us that we can worship, that demons are okay. I'm not telling you anything that the Bible does not tell you. Let me get a scripture just to prove it, just to prove that I'm not telling you to go out and do voodoo or worship anything. I'm actually telling you don't worship those entities, because as Genesis said, everything is under your dominion and it's to serve you. So when you ask for something to the almighty power, you think that the almighty power, now I'm getting really general and basic, but I have to do this to keep it in the understanding of people that aren't in my head, and that maybe haven't really explored this thought. So what I'm going to say is, do you think the almighty power is just doing everything, so to speak? Or do you believe that there are entities that work for you from the almighty power? Because I'm really interested, especially to all of the Bible people who see all through the Bible angels going out and giving messages and fighting for people, and the Most High saying, which one of you spirits want to go out and tell a lie? Which one of you spirits want to go out and do what I'm doing, air quotes, evil? You get what I'm saying? So let me get that scripture. I think it's in Kings. I will get it though. Which one? Yeah, I always know the scripture, but I can never remember what book it's in. I mean, I've read it so many times, but I don't memorize the book and the verse too much. Okay. So it was the Most High was asking which spirit wants to be the lying spirit, remember? And then one of them said, yes, I'll go be the lying spirit. So that's proof that these spirits, that so-called demons, are commissioned in a sense it's in Chronicles, I think. Yes, it is. 2 Chronicles, verse 18. Chapter, Salakia. Sorry. 2 Chronicles, chapter 18, verse 21. And he said, I will go out. Let me back up a little so we can get the full gist of it all. Okay, so 2 Chronicles, chapter 18, verse, dang. Y'all, give me a minute. This is supposed to change. Oh, I see what's going on. All right. Okay. 2 Chronicles chapter 18, I'm going to go to verse 19. Okay. And the Lord, I'm reading it verbatim. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead, And one spake, he's speaking to spirits, and one spake saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. So he was speaking to spirits, and they were discussing it amongst each other. Verse 20 says, then there came out a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? The almighty power. It's like, okay, how are you going to do it? So even the spirit has its lane, or its particular power. You understand? Now remember, this is against Ahab, and we know who Ahab was. He was first and foremost, he was letting his woman rule him. I'm going to throw that one out there real hard. He was letting, not a good woman, because a good woman would never want to rule her husband, but Ahab was letting his very carnal proud, unloving wife rule him. So he already was all out of order. So that's a big deal for me to point out, because how would these particular spirits, and of course he and his wife were serving these spirits by exalting them and praying to them and sacrificing to those spirits. So the spirit said, verse 21, and he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. So that's awesome to me, because look, you put yourself in that position, and there you go. He put himself in the position. So back to demons. So demons, so-called demons, are commissioned to do believe it or not, to do your will. Not just people say, oh, well, no, they're only working for the Almighty. We already read that we judge angels. So all the spirits that are in this realm, any spirit that comes in or out into this realm, we are the gods of that spirit. So we are not supposed to you're playing yourself in a sense, because if there's a strong spirit that would work against your enemy, like the spirit that came to lie, it worked against Ahab's enemy. I'm just telling you the scriptures, and this isn't even a Bible lesson. This is just, I'm doing this to protect myself from Hebrew Israelites who are always on a witch hunt and are very low vibrational. Yes, I said low vibrational, meaning they can't get the understanding of what the Most High, the Almighty Power, has given us. This is our realm. This is our realm to do with it what we want, in order. Okay, the last part is very important. In order, because when we just do whatever we want, not in order, people die, things die. That's why everything's going wrong in this world, because we have rulers who decided to target the most soulful, spiritual people vibrating in this realm, which is the so-called African or Black or Hebrew Israelite, whatever label you want to put on yourself. You know who we are. You know who we are. Because when we're amongst each other, it's a vibration. It's like the air is humming. There's so much energy, so much spirit. When we're in sync and in unison, it's such a beautiful thing. And when we're destructive toward each other, it's extremely volatile. You understand? So this world is out of order because those who are ruling are, first off, not supposed to be ruling, and secondly, they're ruling in the wrong way because they are worshiping self. The thing about the so-called WM, I say that so I can try to protect my channel, but you know who he is. We call him Esau. Some people call him Matamahu. That particular individual, that being, that person, doesn't only worship self, does not respect spirit, does not respect order, does not respect anything outside of self. And many of our people, because we've been programmed that way, we weren't they're naturally that way. And they teach us that way. The scriptures say we learn the way of the heathen. And then it says the people of the chosen, our people, they'll surpass the wicked. So we've learned how to be self-serving. Oh, I'm God. There's no one else but me. No, and when I say we are God, we are gods, but I'm saying the WM says It's just me. I don't even care about my own people. It's just about me. Really. We think, oh, they want to preserve their own. They only do that out of necessity to bring us down and to destroy us. I'm on a whole different topic now, but yeah. Yeah. So I didn't want this to go super long because it's an intro, but I do want to say that I will be discussing demons in this particular series. I will be talking about spirits, spirits that have been called upon to protect us. Now, hear this. Let me leave you with this part too, because I did mention Heka that I'm very much going to continue to. I'm going to start really getting into studying all openly speaking about what I study in demonology. Okay, so because I'm not going to be afraid of Hebrew Israelites anymore, because I'm following the almighty power. I'm following what I read in the book. They're not following it. They're just a bunch of Christians sitting around talking about, we're the chosen people. We're the chosen people. Okay, now what? What are you doing? You're the chosen people. What? Oh no, death to the 2/3. That's all we hear. Yahweh's coming back. Yahahwah's coming back. And he's going to kill y'all. That is low vibrational. Why would you even think that you're going to have any type of power with that mindset? You have to break out of that and be, another scripture, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Don't you understand when you hear that sentence, when you hear that scripture? What do you think that means? Saying Shalom 9,000 times a week on Facebook? No, it means be the God that you were created to be, meaning everything that you think that the Most High, the Almighty Power will do for you, giving you mercy, giving you, showing you miracles, giving you life, giving you peace, giving you love and blessings, tranquility, camaraderie, everything. All of that is how you should be with others who are in order. Now, there you go, right there. That's another example. If you're not going to get in order under, when I say under, submitting and exalting a God that deserves the honor, and I say God because people, he's not a God. It's not a God. It's a power that we cannot fathom. It's infinite. And like I said before, it's infinite because it's powering not just almost 9 billion people. Well, between 7 to 9 billion people on the face of the earth. It's not just giving power to the people. It's giving power to every single creation. Oh, everything that exists. Everything that exists is existing because of the power from the Almighty. So how can we, you know what I mean? Like, how can we just sit here and say, like, imagine if I came over your house and I just walked in when the door is unlocked and I just grab your car keys and I'm driving your car all around, going to work, and, oh yeah, I like this car. This is great. And I didn't even ask you for it, but you're just chill. You're very, you didn't shoot me or anything. And you're sitting there just, and you have like a tracking device on your car, and you see your car. Oh, see that this person drove my car to this city. Oh, looks like the person drove my car to this place. And then this person is just going around using your car. And finally, the person runs out of gas and then calls you up and like, hey, I ran out of gas. I need some money for gas. I need to cash out me some money to put some gas in your car. No, the person doesn't even say your car. I need some money. I need you to cash out me because I want to put some gas in this car. It's mine. And the person's sitting there like, oh, okay. So the first time the person cash apps you and you're like, oh yeah, so yeah, I knew this was my car. Pretty soon the person gets fed up and like, you know what? Damn that car. So-and-so, go take a torpedo and blast that car to smithereens with that person in it. I don't even want the car anymore because that person is totally disrespecting me and using me. Or you might just sit back and say, you know what, I don't even want the car. I don't care what happens. I don't care if it blows up or whatever. And that person tries to call you and ask for gas money and you don't pick up the phone. We have to look at it in that sense that we give each other honor. We should. That's a problem that we have. And I remember I did that video about Sonetter. The brother, hey, he is a groundbreaker and a leader. But I look at the people and I'm like, damn, nobody really even is exalting or praising this brother for the work he does. And it's, sadly, it's not just our brother Sonetter that gets treated like that. We have a problem in general as human beings, black, white, yellow, green. But let's talk about our people. We tout ourselves as being above the rest, and we are the chosen people. And I'm a nationalist. I'm a black nationalist. So if I'm like, oh, we don't act like the heathens. We don't act like those people. Then we have to realize that we're failing when we don't give honor and pay due and respect to our leaders and our elders and the groundbreakers. We don't do that, right? So it goes back to spirit too. I mean, it's like when I talked about microcosm and macrocosm. It's like everything is mirroring itself. Everything is a reflection of the next and the next and the next. So when we don't realize, wow, there's an infinite power, and I'm getting, oh, peace, GK Sigma, my brother. I'm getting all of this great energy, and wait a minute, I can do what, this is my realm as long as I stay in order. This is amazing. As long as we don't, I mean, if we keep on not doing that and getting in order, we won't get our power. We'll be Psalms 82:7, not Psalms 82:6. And we're just going to continue to die like dogs in the street. I mean, our brother's jogging and he gets killed. These are spirits. These are spirits. And no, it's not spookism. It's not spookism. It's energy. Because those out there, I challenge you. If you think it's spookism, I challenge you to just have a discussion with me about quantum physics. I challenge you to have a discussion with me about explaining some of the metaphysical. These are sciences. Not even the paranormal. Not paraphysics. I'm talking about quantum physics. Yeah. There are quantum theorists out there, well-known quantum theorists that are now correlating the Kabbalah with science and energy and what's going on and what is inexplicable at this point. Black holes, wormholes, multiverses, bilocation. It's fascinating. Anyway, any questions? Anybody out there have a question? They probably told him run and see how far you can get. How long have you been following Sonetter? If you are brand new, you may lack context to assess him properly. Really, GK Sigma, would you like to have me put the link in the chat and you can expound on what you're saying? Because following him is one thing, brother. Actually sitting and speaking to the brother and getting to know him is another, my brother. So I actually speak to Sonetter, and I can't think of anyone that I've met in a long time who is more honorable, more loyal, more selfless, and kinder to just strangers in general. I haven't met a lot of, it's been a while. It's been a while. Now, I don't need to do this with anybody. I don't need to dig into anybody's, let me look in your closet. Where's the skeletons? I don't need to do all that. We're talking about how someone treats me, like the scripture says. And I, I have a lot of love for you, my brother. This isn't even, you sparked something that I'm glad you did. I want to just talk about this. So I want to say thank you, GK Sigma. Do you want me to put the link out there? I can, but thank you, because I need to talk about this. We're talking about spirit right now. So let's try to keep it in this context. We're talking about malevolence and benevolence. When I'm treated with benevolence, all of us, not just me. I mean, unless you're a masochist and you like to be treated, hurt. But when you receive benevolence from another individual, you have an affinity toward that person. When you receive good from someone, you are drawn toward, you magnetize. That's actually, again, we could talk about quantum physics and science. You're drawn, there's a magnetism toward benevolence. Now, when I'm treated in a malevolent way, a bad way, treated badly, I'm repelled. I have an aversion to that particular person. There's so many people, my brother, and GK Sigma, you've seen it. There's so many people, and I'm going to say, my brother, well, I'm going to be respectful. I won't say who, but there are certain people that I thought were decent, but I look back and the whole time I was treated like trash. I was manipulated. I was lied on. I showed love and I received hatred. I showed kindness and I received ridicule and mockery. And not only did I receive that, the person or persons that I trusted and showed love to encouraged. I'm going to let you marinate on that word. Encouraged. I'm going to say it 3 times to solidify it. Encouraged hatred and abuse to be inflicted upon me. Now, I did the same thing with that particular person as I did with Sonnetter. There was no difference. And we do it all the time. We meet a person, we open ourselves up and we sit and wait and we see what happens. And from what I've received from Sonnetter is nothing but respect, loyalty, protection, trust. These are characteristics of a person who wants to nurture you. And Godson, you weren't lied on, brother. Don't get blocked from my chat. Do not get blocked from my chat. I will never take that back because it was a true vision. Now you can move on from that, or you can get blocked because I'm not doing this on my stream, my brother. Now you know yourself, Godson. So there is another scripture in the Bible, since you follow the Bible, Godson. I don't know if you follow the New Testament, and I'm paraphrasing. It says, agree with your adversaries quickly, lest you be brought to the judge. I would suggest that you leave that. Yes, let it go. Thank you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Now, what I was saying is, when the characteristics of a benevolent person, like I named, trusting, nurturing, compassionate, loyal, when you receive that vibration or that type of energy from a person, or anything, not just me, a dog, a pet, will return it. It's reciprocity. And in that reciprocity, brothers and sisters, in that cycle, when I'm feeding that loyalty, love, trust, protection, kindness, compassion, thoughtfulness, selflessness. When I'm feeding it into you, you feed it back to me. And you know what we do is, if you envision a cyclone, you know, a whirlwind, a whirlpool, envision something circling and growing, and it's so powerful that it is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so that's the sad part. Some people lose out on that. Okay, Godson, much love, brother. Just take it to another. Don't worry about it, brother. I have love for you. That's why I'm not deal. Look, I appreciate your presence. Let's not let the energy get changed. So when people don't realize that, let's take a brother or sister that one of you might meet, and it's fresh and it's a clean slate. I don't know you, you don't know me. So you meet each other, and then you start building, or you start building. But if the other person doesn't want to feed, it doesn't want to reciprocate the energy to build, or if the other person feeds in malevolence, it will kill the relationship. It will stifle the relationship, or kill, or both. The relationship will be a midget. I want titans in my relationships. I want giants. Hey, EJ Boxing, how are you? And Black Bread, please don't let the energy change. Yeah, brother, that's right. It's all good. No, it's all love. GK Sigma is he's one of my day one brothers. He's got a lot of love. And I'm telling him, because this is one thing about you, GK, brother, I'm telling you, you're a fair brother. I've seen you be very balanced. I'm going to extend this to you, brother. I want you to take your time once, when the spirit moves you, reach out and have a conversation with Sonetter. Reach out. I'm not trying to say the brother's perfect. No one's perfect. Look at what I've done. I've lost my mind and going at it with people, but I'm talking about how people treat each other. I'm going to just hand that over to my brother, GK Sigma. Go ahead and take the time, reach out and have a conversation with that brother. Ask him questions. I had the same thoughts. I didn't even know the man for years. I was told, oh, he's the devil. He's using his people. I said, you know what? Okay. Let me get to know this brother, because this isn't adding up. Because I'm looking at one thing, and I'm also looking at the people showing him love, and I'm seeing how he goes out and what he's doing. And now I'm blessed to be able to say, wow, this is a person I needed. That we're struggling in this realm, my brothers and sisters, because we're so disconnected and damaged. We will not let ourselves link up in the energy so we can be that force. We're talking about solidarity when I talk like this in a spiritual, metaphysical way. We really need to sit back and go, just like we do with our family members. Yeah, I know my uncle. Yeah, I know he cursed my grandma out one time, but damn, he's a good guy. And I'm not saying that's Sonetter, but I'm just going at saying the worst thing. Like, you see your uncle curse your grandma out, that would be traumatizing. So I'm saying, but my uncle, he would kill for my grandma. He loves his mom, or, so we're damaged people. We must stay on track. We have been targeted. Program after program after program after program has been put upon us. Social construct after social construct. We have to be careful with mercy, and we have to, and I say this, I was just talking about how I was treated. Even with those people, I still show love. I still show love when certain people need, it's a thin line. There goes again about that thin line thing, because some people just they won't stop until they see you bleed out. So that's my issue that I'm working on. I have to stop forgiving and letting people get back close to me. I love to forgive. You must forgive. because what you're doing, forgiveness is selfish, by the way. It's not like only for the other person. It's not selfish. Let me take that back. It's also self-serving. I should say that. Forgiveness has a portion of it that's self-serving, because you've cleaned yourself out, and now you have room to bring in, to get good energy in, to have the spirit of the Almighty power live within you. You understand? I will drop the link. Let me read some of the chat. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for thumbing this up if you like it. The womb is the beginning of what is known as life. Honor thy woman. Okay, yeah. Is this T Chanel? Yes, that's correct, sis. The womb. We must honor the woman, and we must honor the man. Sisters, we must honor. The womb is the place where life, where the material of the person grows, but the spirit is not only in the womb, in the egg. The spirit is in the sperm. The spirit is in the sperm. So the sister is 100% correct. That's why I put that up. But we must also start having a dialogue about the power and the spirit and the honor of the seed. So let me see here. Let me get the link and put it in the chat. I wasn't going to go too long, but hey, this is interesting. So you guys tell me when to stop, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you could be like, okay, Napah, this is getting you dragging on a little bit. Okay, so yeah, if you want to hit the link, DK, I would love for you to come on and say hello. I've never actually spoken to you. I've just talked to you through the text. Return of the Thump says, forgiveness is seeing better in others, that which they don't see in themselves. Boom. There you go. That's right. And right, Unru, sperm is, of course, alive. Sperm is alive, of course. And so is that, there's an argument that the egg is not viable. The egg is viable. We're talking about life being brought into this realm in a material way. It's very potent and powerful. So, Soupbone, that's your brother. Let me put this up on the Summer Jam. Soupbone, no such thing as spirit. Well, whatever you call it, Soupbone, that's what it is to you, okay? I have to use labels. Now, if you're saying there's no such thing as energy and you're an atheist, I can come at you from wherever if you want me to speak your language, I'm more than happy to speak your language. I'm a polyglot, so I'm multilingual, and not only I can speak different languages in English too. So if you don't think it's called the spirit, that's okay. But there is an undeniable force. There are already 3 energies that Daddy Esau, the Massa says it's okay. So everybody's all right with this, right? Supone. So Massa says that he's found out that there's magnetism, electricity, and radiation. So Massa says that's what we got now. Is that okay, Supone? Can we call that spirit? Because look, science is just evolving. It's growing. All science is thought. If you have an idea, okay, you have an idea, and we call it a hypothesis. You use a scientific method, because to those out there saying she doesn't even know what that means, you use a scientific method to, in a sense, try your idea to see if you can come to a conclusion and it meets all the checkpoints. And you can say, oh, no, this is my theory. And look, I've proved it. It's been proven through scientific method. So you as an individual, you can't give that power over to another person. Like when you hear on Salnetter's panels, when they're like, well, we want to hear some experts. We want to hear some experts. We're all experts in life, because guess what? We've got a heartbeat, a pulse, and a brain that functions. And we're breathing. Now, it's up to you to go out and find the information and build your own, follow your path. Now, I know people are like saying, well, that's not what it means, an expert. I mean school. And yes, I get it. But my point is, why would you hand it over to someone else? Because it's not like what people think, like someone I know, yes, I respect an expert. If there's a neuroscientist saying, let me talk to you about what's going on with your brain tumor, ma'am. No, I don't need your help. I can do this myself. Lord forbid that I ever have a brain tumor. I'm not talking about that. Of course, that's an expert. I'm talking about people sitting back and not caring and saying, well, science said that that's all there is, so let me go ahead and watch Jerry Springer and eat some popcorn. No, you will, because science is going to always change. You don't want to sit there and be lazy and wait to hear I wonder what they're going to tell me next about COVID-19. How about you get up and go find out on your own, just like the scientists do? Now, if you're not, of course, if you're not studied and you're not an expert, like I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but what I will do is listen to different doctors to get basic factual information and then put it together and form my own philosophy, my own idea, and my own conclusion. And the brilliant, beautiful part of it, what was I saying earlier? We're gods of ourselves. Now, you can get laughed to scorn over that. Oh, what are you laughing about? Why would someone call me pseudo? I'm the master of my own domain. And the funny thing, the irony is that these people are usually atheists that are calling me pseudo. But the atheistic ideals are, I'm the master of my own self. I don't look outside of me. So why would an atheist be a hypocrite and contradict self when I say, I'm going to be the master of my own conclusions, my own self in existence? Now, does that mean that I'm going to go out and try to do brain surgery? If I say, oh, okay, thank you, neuroscientist, I got this. No, that's why there are laws that say, okay, you're going to go to jail if you try to practice that medicine. That's why the government manipulated the laws against the honorable Dr. Sebi, may he rest in power, because Dr. Sebi knew. He was like, I'm all right, I got you. I'm gonna just do what I'm learning on from this end. Okay. And of course that there's controversy around that now that he's gone, but I didn't hear any of these people calling him pseudo when he was in this realm doing miracles. Let me say that again. In this realm, doing miracles, working miracles, being the God that he knew that he was in order. Okay, so let me take a look at the chat. I dropped the link, but I don't want this stream to go over 2 hours though. So let's see, do we live in the realm of duality? There is duality in this realm. This woman is well equipped intellectually. Oh, GK Sigma, so nice to me. You're kind, brother. I have a lot of love for you, brother. And like I said, brother, you're a loving brother. I'm gonna put my energy and my prayer into you, reaching out and having. I'm putting it out into the world, into the realm, praying to the Almighty Power that you will get to speak with Sonetter one day, and just be like, wow, this is a pretty decent brother. So yeah, there's a lot of. I want to welcome EJ Boxing to the panel. I'm just going to read some of this these wonderful chats. I love my chat. I love the brothers and sisters that come over here because there's such a great vibe. I'm going to tell you, I always say this because it's true. I mean, wow, I love the energy. Hello, brother.
How you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I was listening to it, man. You really just putting some stuff, making me think about a lot of things about what you're saying about demons and spirits and people, people you let near you taking liberties and letting them back and you know, being kind and people treating people, really badly. You're right. Spirits and demons and like, yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of people with demons inside of them, and like they constantly will keep at you and keep at you and try to destroy you. 100%. Everything you were saying, I was 100% agreeing with you. But I didn't understand when you're talking about this what's it, the sperm spirit or something like that. What's that about? I didn't understand that though.
Oh, the sister had mentioned that the womb should be respected, and I don't want to get off the topic, but we don't just want to direct that toward, well, I don't think that the sister was really directing it toward brothers. I think sisters, as a doula and as a woman who works in the capacity of a midwife, those out there making light of what I do. As a doula, though, that I work professionally as a doula, I put a lot of honor into motherhood and childbearing, but sisters are having abortions left and right, and I believe that I believe my sisters are just disconnected. They're not seeing what this sister said, what T. Chanel said. The sisters aren't in her mind state. They're not like not worship, honor the womb. And so, yeah, I was just saying, brother, that we honor the womb, but in the same balance, we also understand that the sperm has life. Yeah, the sperm is it is. It's not an organism, because to be able for it to be actually classified as an organism, it would have to be have to have offspring technically. But that's the funny thing, is because the sperm is making offspring. You know what I mean? Not making it, but creating the offspring of the actual organism, the person, or the animal. So what I was just saying that there's life in the sperm, just as there is life in the egg. There's life in it. So that's all I'm saying.
Wow. Yeah, no, just a lot of times people don't see that, I mean, trying to, and what you said is that you kept on forgiving people, and they kept on taking liberties. Or I think some people need to understand, like you said, you know what I mean, trying to be full of what it says in the Bible, and like turn the other cheek and stuff like that. And sometimes, yeah, like you said, you have to cut these people out, man. You can't constantly keep them getting beaten down. The moment some people show you some toxic energy, you have to go away. Like, your energy is very, like, it draws a lot of people like towards you, because you're really powerful, man. Some really powerful stuff you're talking about. In fact, the stuff you're talking about, I've heard on the whole of the net people talking about what you're talking about. What you said your job was? What you said your job is to
A doula. Listen, my brother GK. GK, you need to jump on here, brother. Come on.
what's a doula? Yeah,
A
what's that? What's a
doula,
doula?
I am a woman who, actually, there are different types of doulas. So I am a birthing doula. I'm antepartum and postpartum doula. So I help sisters and women before pregnancy, even and before birth. That would be antepartum. But even before pregnancy, if someone's planning, like a woman's trying to get pregnant and she's got high risk pregnancy, and then after birth, during the birth, I'm there, and then after the birth, just helping her, and emotionally, physically, everything, anything. Like, even if, say, my client is hungry in the middle of the night, and she's like, I want to go out, but I can't. I might do something like, okay, let me send Uber Eats, or let me make you do a meal plan for you, and you can freeze these meals, like just anything. Housekeeping, counseling, a lot of counseling. I do a lot of counseling, because a lot of it is emotional. There's a lot of anxiety, of course. Your body is changing, and you're bringing forth life, and a lot of your hormones are changing, and you're taking on another being. I know I say wrap your minds around this, but I like to look, you guys, family, wrap your mind around a whole human being inside of your body. Like, we're so used to it that we don't really sit back and go, wow. I mean, unless somebody is like smoking pot or something, or I don't smoke weed, but like, sit back and think about that. A life is inside, or usually sometimes multiple lives, like, multiple births. And a woman is walking around with a human being in her body, in her womb. Isn't that fascinating?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, it seems like it's not because it happens throughout, everything procreates and mammals get pregnant. But if you step back and think about it, because we're talking about our individual selves, right? We're talking about being the masters of ourselves. And each one of us came from a human being. And each one of us came from a womb. But at that moment, and I'm talking to my sisters now because I know brothers can't even wrap their minds around sisters, women, we when we're mothers and when we hold a child, a life, a human being in our womb, we are we're a different, like our comment said, it's a different type of person. You've got two spirits in a sense, two souls in a sense, or three if it's twins in your womb. You've got more than just your own soul or spirit dwelling in that particular frame or that body. So that's for people who believe in spirit, of course. But I don't know. What about you? Do you believe in spirit, or what are your beliefs, EJ Boxing?
Yeah, no, I believe like in spiritual, man. I don't really adhere to any god. I believe that what you said. I believe we are God. I mean, if a child's born into the planet, the first thing he sees is one of us, right? And to the child, we are God. We give them everything, food, advice, everything until they get to a certain age, and then we tell them you need to read this book or you need to go to church, and then we pass our kids over and say believe in someone else. But to if you look to a kid, you are God to a kid. The kid doesn't know anything until you tell that. Then we pass our kids over to other people. So yeah, I believe that we are God. But yeah, I believe it's spiritual. I believe that it's energy. I believe in energy, the positive energy, negative energy. I believe in energy, spiritual energy. That's what I believe in. Which is hard to define really because you can't really. It's nothing, but it's something you feel. You know what I mean? It's something you feel, vibration around you. You know what I'm saying? It's aura around you because everything is energy. You know what I'm trying to say to you. The young man who got killed the other day just jogging. You know what I'm trying to say? He's energy, trying to feel the energy of why would someone do that? You know what I mean? It's off whack because you know what I mean? There's just there's stuff out there that energy is just negative, man. So yeah, I believe in that. I believe in that. Also, you know what you was talking about, like so when you're giving birth to, so not when you're birth, when you're helping out the young lady birth, yeah. Where do you the energy comes because some of the energy from the woman giving birth could be negative, yeah. What do you do with the energy that they give you? Because I'm really interested in because you're there trying to help people and give them what they want. But when the energy is really negative or after the birth, before the birth, what do you do with the energy? How do you kind of sweep that out your system?
Right. That is a good question because that actually is it is it's an issue with a lot of caregivers like myself, people who deal with emotional people, even people that are having pain. Um, Hello, Yacovel. I'm just gonna mute your mic for one. Hello, brother.
What's up?
Okay, I'm just gonna mute you for 1 second so I can get this thought out. Or I don't have to mute you. I just heard something in the background, but so what happens is I have to come into the situation with balance, EJ. I come into the
Hmm?
situation where it's not anything personal for me. And I don't know if you heard earlier when I was talking about spirits and how they are, and there's not really like a so-called, there is a negative spirit, but there's a negative energy, so to speak, but you have to know the source of it. So with me, I guess I would say that with the mother, I try to find the source of what's giving her the anxiety or what's negative, and then I help her to take it apart, and really together we sweep it away together. So I don't take it
Wow.
from, yeah, I don't take it and then I've got it in me. We work it out together, but I still never take it, put myself in a personal space. For instance, for instance, like during birth, if she's like having a really hard birthing and You know, she's just really negative. She's got a lot of anxiety. She's uncooperative. I don't take that personally and then clinch. I have to use, you know, these kind of words so people can get it in perspective. I don't clinch up or lock down or get defensive. I embrace it as if almost like, okay, we're doing this together. I'm with her. I understand where she's coming from with this anger or with this pain or with this, you know, this, she's not wanting to cooperate. I understand where she's coming from. So when I get in there, she also, remember, she's working with me too. We've built up a rapport. It's like a friendship. She's telling me, you know, these things usually because she's in pain or she's afraid. So I have the responsibility to tell her, I'm here. You don't have to be afraid. Everything you're feeling is okay. You're fine. This isn't, you're not in danger. Let me take the brunt of it because I'm not feeling, you know, I'm not delivering the baby, so I got you. Just like you see in the movies when you see like the dad getting hit upside that, they don't hit, women don't hit you, but you know, the dad getting hit and sometimes you'll hear a wife joke about like, can I hit you if the pain is too badly, it's going too badly. So it's just, you know, being able to be there and understand, being able to put yourself into that person's space, but not becoming out of control like that person. And then I'm gonna hand it over, but I also want to say this. That doesn't just work with childbearing and being a doula. It works with you can do visualization. This is for everyone. As things happen to us as children that affect our character as adults, it actually shapes our personality and how we are as individuals. If there's something that you have experienced in childhood, they're called ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. If there's something that you've experienced in childhood and you know it's something that you cannot turn back time and go back to, but you really, you know, you're like, I wish I could have done that differently, or I wish this would have gone differently. You can get with a counselor and do visualization and actually take yourself back to that moment as an adult, talking to that child that was once you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Did you fall asleep?
Pardon?
Somebody was sleeping. Was that Yahahwah? Anyway, Yahahwah, you fell
I
off.
think, yeah, you just
I was
dropped
just
off.
talking
Yeah.
about visualization because you asked me how do I deal with
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty. Yeah, man, that's some serious. No, I'm just no because the way you deal with it, I'm telling you that stuff. I mean, you could apply that in everyday life. I think a lot of times, yeah, that's very unselfish to be that way. You know, it's very unselfish, and also just to be very um very clear thought. Clear thought. Obviously, I don't be trained for that. Yeah, that's very clear to have that sort of mindset to see it that way, to break it down and to share. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, if when they bond with people, that's pretty hard to do that. You know what I mean? You have to be trained to do that. Like you shared that with me, you shared that with me. That's a really deep, really experience, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Right, you're welcome. And I just want to, before Brother Yahahwah, I'm going to get to you, but I just really want to speak on this comment from Black Bread. Tons of stuff I wish I could have changed as a changed, which tons of stuff I wish I could have changed as a child. Let me say this to you, Black Bread. I don't know if you're a woman or man. I'm assuming that you are. I don't know, but let me tell you. I'm assuming that you're one of us, Black person, obviously, but I don't know if you're male or female. You can do it, and I'm talking to everyone. When I say you can do it, okay, brother. All right, Black Bread. So when I say you can do it, we can't literally go back in time, but it's about the mind resolving what happened. If you see people, they have cognitive dissonance. They actually have they believe something that's ridiculous. Like there are people that are delusional, right? So you can do that you can get your mind in a healthy way Hear me out. You can get your mind in a healthy way to go back with a visualization technique with a therapist and work on changing. Take yourself back to that moment, and you will be prompted with the therapist to speak to that child in the situation that was an adverse situation. Really go look into ACEs and look into ACEs therapy. So I do use visualization with some of the mothers. Like a woman may have had, for instance, a bad situation with a stillbirth, which is a horrible, traumatizing, life-changing situation. And so on her next pregnancy, she has, obviously tons of trauma, anxiety, post-traumatic stress. So when you go with that person to say, okay, listen, let's go back. And it's a very delicate process, because some people, it's a process. You don't want to just get back, like, let's go back right now, and they're not ready. You gradually get that person to go back to that moment and say, okay, what do you want to happen in this moment? What do you want to change in this moment? What do you want to tell that person, which is really you? It's like you step outside, you create your own so-called controlled out-of-body experience, but in a therapeutic way. So you step outside of yourself, and then you go and you say, okay, you talk to yourself and you say, like for instance, if you've been somewhere and you're hurt, you get your feelings hurt. Usually it's in childhood. Like, people made fun of you if you're poor and you had on high water pants and holes in your shoes, and everybody laughed at you. Nobody stepped up to protect you. So you can get a visualization therapy where the therapist takes you back, and now you're an adult and you buy your own clothes, and you go back and you can go tell that adult, which is you, to talk to the child you and say, you can say, hey, I'm going to step in, and you walk in and you step in for the child. And it's a very, very constructive, helpful type of therapy. You say to the child, no, you talk to the children in the crowd and say, how dare you make fun of this person? Don't you know this kid did this and that? Don't you know this kid is great? Can you do what this kid did here and there? And that if someone would have done that at the moment in your life, it would change your whole personality to make you a more secure individual. So I'm just giving you like little examples, but once you do the visualization and you go back and do it, it's almost just as effective if you as a person are open to it. And I'd say it is just as effective, and it helps you clear out those experiences and make them, positive for yourself. So anyway, hello, Yahahwah.
Hey, what's going on? So I got two questions, right? First question is, when are we going to read the book together? Second question is,
Real quick. Oh, Tisha, I knew I recognized your name. You're T-Duck's wife. Or is this T-Duck? This might be T-Duck, but whatever. All right, brother. I'm sorry. Welcome to the panel. And Tisha, now, if this is T-Duck's wife, welcome, sis. I knew that name, but anyway, go on, brother. I'm sorry.
okay. And the second question
Wait,
is,
go back. What was your first question? I missed it.
the first question is, when are we going to read the book together? And the second question is, what is the meaning behind this thumbnail you have of the woman cradling the serpent?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you some questions about it. Do you have an issue with the picture? And if so, I want to find out before I answer, because I don't.
Come on now. Come
Let me
on
tell you
now.
something. It's a public thumbnail, and this isn't my first rodeo. I'm aware of.
Right. But see, I don't want you to curb your answer
I'm
based on
not.
what I
No, you don't
say.
get it. You don't get it. I'm not curbing. I need to find out from you, so I can help you with the thumbnail.
I just don't know what it means. That's why I'm
Well,
asking you what it means.
when you look at it, what do you think it means?
Shit, man, who
And then
knows?
you won't offend me. First off, if you listen to me, listen, brother, you can't offend me if you say it's the most evil thing I've ever seen. No, I don't care. I just want to know what you think about it.
I don't really have no deep thought. That's why I asked you what it
Yet
means. You
you
know
don't
what
have
I
a
mean?
deep thought about it. Yet you're curious and you've been wanting to ask me about it.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. You said you don't
Come
have any
on, man.
deep thought, but you want to know.
You can't use that as a cop out now. Come on, man.
Okay, before I answer, let's look at EJ Boxing. Let's ask him. Look at his avatar. EJ, I think he stepped away to make some soup or a sandwich or
No, I'm
something.
here. I'm here. No, I'm here.
EJ, tell us. He's asking me
Yeah, what's
about
up?
the thumbnail, which I will answer fully. I will. But tell me about your avatar. What do you think about it,
Oh yeah,
Yakabel?
yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
Well, you want me to do me to explain or?
I want to see what Yakabel thinks of it first.
Oh, okay.
I really can't see his. Are you talking about his avatar or your avatar?
Yeah.
Yes. Can
I
everyone
can.
see it now?
Well, what is it? What is that?
It looks like a some kind of
That's that. That's that
Lord.
scene from that damn movie. What is that movie? That
What is that?
animated movie that came out in the '80s when we was kids and shit, like the early '80s or something, right?
Oh my gosh, you're talking about with Tom Cruise.
No, this a cartoon. I forgot what it's an animated movie though. That's what it looked like to me.
What is it, Yakabel? I mean, EJ.
No, it's all it is. Yeah, it's just like the thing is, yeah. A lot of times, yeah, people look on things between good and evil, but what it is just like it's like a man just give. I perceive it as a man they're giving his spirit to the woman, and they just like they're passing, they're joining each other. You know what I'm saying? Like a bond. They're bonding together. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I took it
Okay.
as. I wasn't really taking, but I think I purposely put it there because obviously I think other people's interpretation of it because good and evil like naturally when people see them with the horns and stuff like that they think of the devil. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I just took it as like a spirit of bonding. You know what I'm trying to say to you? That's how men are predicted anyway. Like men in the society are visualized as devils or demons and thing, and then women are visualized as sex creatures and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a bonding. That's all it is, man. It's not anything. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Okay.
I really put it there to see other people. See what other people think as well, just to get a reaction as well. But I like the picture. I really do. I think it's a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
To
So,
me, like I think it's two black people though.
well, you heard what he said, and you know what? That's a great answer. So he enjoys the picture. He has his own interpretation of the art, and then he understands that art can be, a lot of times art is used for shock value and to spark conversation. So getting back to my thumbnail, the thumbnail, you know the title of the video, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Dominate, bind, and drive out.
Right. Okay. So, and then there's another part that you left out.
Right. The matter of demons and gods.
Perfect. Okay. So the matter of demons and gods. Um, Kind of what the brother said about his picture. It's similarly, I put that picture because there is a woman in the picture. Women are not evil, but women are seen as evil, and be careful of her, especially in the Bible. She'll lure you in, and snakes are not evil. They're not evil, but people see, oh, that's a serpent. It's evil, because listen, the Bible said that, they're serpents and they're like their father. So those together, that's one reason I put that, because demons and gods, I know this is going to be tough, but I'm going to say it. They are really similar, but they have dual. There's two ways to interpret a god and a demon. You can interpret them in contrast, and you can interpret them in comparison, like they're similar or they're very different, but they are always going to be together. So when I look at that picture, it spoke to me because a woman and a snake, typically they're not evil, but when you put them together and you look at them, people will be like, oh, this is something about wickedness and the woman being beguiled by the serpent, which is true. There's a part of that too. Like, you have to be careful with the wisdom that is given to you as a human being in general, not just a woman, but anyone. When you interact, now I'm talking in an esoteric way. I was talking on the physical. Now I'm going to talk about the picture esoterically. When you look at the picture and you say, well, the snake symbolizes carnal wisdom and carnal power, and the woman symbolizes the human being, the life, what earth is, what is material. That's the feminine, we're in the feminine realm. So for me, it spoke to me in those different ways. And then of course the part where I just maybe knew that a couple people that are super Bible thumpers and don't even know what the Bible really means, not you, would be like, oh, she's wicked. Look at this wicked picture. Kind of what EJ said about his picture. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Well, I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really have no deep thought about it. I mean, whoever drew it, they could draw their ass off. I say that much. But I'm not like most Israelites. I look at the Bible from a total different set of eyeballs. Like, since we are on that subject as far as the serpent and all of that,
Uh-huh.
from my studies and from what has been exposed to me, not just reading a book, but some real life experiences, some shit I've seen with my own two eyes.
Like what? We're gonna start. I want to see. You want to talk about the paranormal?
Paranormal, supernatural,
Tell me what you saw. Let's share
other
anecdotal stories.
otherworldly, all kind of stuff. I know from.
Give me one, just one. Tell us a story so we can get it. Those are always interesting. So tell us
You,
something happened.
okay, I'm gonna tell you this story, but I
Thank you,
want to I
Doctor.
want to say this first before I go into that story, right? Um, from everything that I've studied up until this point, I know that the serpent in the Bible was not talking about a snake that we see at the damn pet store or something. I
Oh,
also know that it's not talking about the Caucasian, who most Israelite camps believe that is Esau. I don't believe that, because Esau was a black man, number one. But anyway, from my studies and experiences, I know that the serpent in the Bible is what is called by today's language a reptilian. And it's the same being that's spoken of in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads in the Quran. They are known as the jinn. And so this being has been on this planet as long as we have. And that's what really this war is all about. It's really a war between us and them. When you read, I think it's Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and Yahweh was telling the woman, or should I say, the Yahweh was telling the serpent that there's going to be beef between your seed and this seed, and y'all ain't gonna never get along. So this shit was gonna kick off. It kicked off from the very beginning, and that's what this whole situation is all about. It's about a big ass war for control of this planet. That's what they made the movie Star Wars about. Really, this shit right here. Okay, so I can go into what I experienced. This one of the stories. It's been so many different things I've encountered. But anyway, in Chicago back in the day, we used to have this record store called Coconuts. That's where you go get all the fly shit, the new CDs and all of that. So one day I was going in there to get something, and I found what I was looking for, and I was walking to the register. So when I came in, it was a white guy up there as a cashier. So when I get up there, it's like the motherfucker that I saw when I came in, he wasn't standing there no more. And it was almost like like a mirage or something. Like I'm looking at this guy, and it was like he was losing his image. He was losing it, like it was fading or some shit. It was like he was coming in and out, like it was a damn frequency fading in and out. Like like back in the day when you had the old TVs and you try to fine tune it to get the channel to come in. That's what this motherfucker looked like standing in front of me, and it was I could barely make it out, but it was like some sort of creature, but it was blended in with his skin tone and shit. So I turned away, and then I turned back at him, and I didn't even look back at this. I didn't make no eye contact with him. I just gave him the change, got the receipt, this, that, and whatever, right? And as I'm walking out, I looked at him, and it's like he kept his head down, like he was scared to lift his head back up. Like it's almost like he gave himself away. Like he wasn't. If we would have made eye contact again, it would have been done. Like it was no way for him to go back. You know. So I left, but I know what the fuck I saw. Whatever, whatever that wasn't no ordinary cracker. It was some other shit in there, and we both kind of just played the shit off like ain't shit happened. But it's been a lot of experiences like that though over the
Okay,
years.
let me ask you some questions about that. Thank you for sharing that. It's hard for people to share stories like that because, of course, the first thing that everyone thinks is, well, was he hallucinating? So let me ask you a question. Did you tell anyone about it?
I told some people, and it's like it's kind of hard to accept. You know what I mean? But I say this though, when it comes to experiences like that and spiritual experiences and realizations that you will have, you could tell somebody until they blue in the face, right? And you telling the truth. But ain't no one gonna believe you unless they done been through the same shit you have.
So when you told people, like a lot of people would ask, do you mind if I ask you questions about it?
Go ahead.
Like if you were standing in front of someone, or if most people, now I'm being what people call, I'm doing air quotes, devil's advocate, because I understand when people don't react like some people think they should. Like some people would say, well, you didn't freak out, you didn't scream or run when you saw that happening. Like, what is your answer to that?
Well, my answer is this: we not supposed to freak out. You know, we supposed to play the shit by ear. Yeah, it's the same thing with people talking about the revolution, and you know, everybody's in panic about this COVID-19 shit and all of that. Like the thing is, with most people, they are afraid to die, and they don't want to admit that they are afraid to die. Um, the number one thing that keeps people afraid to die, especially our people, is that we don't know what's on the other side. And of course, motherfuckers don't want to take that chance. And then it's like you're so programmed to remain here and try to enjoy whatever you can on a carnal nature, on a physical nature. But a person like me, I know ain't shit to be afraid of, especially when you're talking about death, because the scriptures say when we die, we are raised up. You are sown in corruption, but you raised in incorruption, right? So you gonna get your just due when you raised up. So it ain't shit to be afraid of, especially not no death. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you, brother. No, I agree with that. Like, most people, not just our people, most people are afraid because it's unknown. And of course, not just that, life is good. I mean, some people might not say that. And I'm reminding myself that I want to do a stream on suicide. It's very important to me. But a lot of people just innately, we not a lot of people, let me scratch that. Innately, life is good. We want to live. We want to live. So that's another reason why people don't really want to die. We want to live. You
But you
know,
know what? Not to cut you off, I want to throw this in there real quick too. Another reason why a lot of people are afraid to die because they secretly believe in karma and they believe in reincarnation and they know that they done did some fucked up shit, right? So of course they ain't in no hurry to have to repay some shit when they on their way back here, because you got to pay what you owe. And in reincarnation, you ain't getting away. You ain't getting away. Ain't nobody getting away. You know what I'm saying? So hell no, you're gonna try to stick around here and try to do as much good as possible. And then with that same person that's thinking on that level where they say fuck it and then go back to whatever they was doing that will cause them to worry about being reincarnated because you got to pay what you owe. You get what I'm saying?
so let me ask you a question, brother. Like I said, I don't know how long if you were hearing very much of the stream, but I want to ask you a question along those lines. Um, what's your take on, you believe in reincarnation? That's okay. I believe in that also. But do you believe in other spirits? Like, do you believe in what so-called demons?
My take on demons is this.
Or do you
Um,
believe in like reptilians? From what it sounded like, you were kind of like going along the lines of believing in like the Anunnaki, not the Anunnaki. What are they called? What are they called, you guys? Are they
Anunnaki,
not the Anunnaki though? It's called something else.
the Nephilim,
Are they The what are they called? The reptilians? Nephilim? No, not the Nephilim.
they call Anunnaki.
No, but there's something that they call the people that I guess they're called reptilians. But yeah, so you believe in you go by the book of Enoch.
Well, I know that reptilians are mentioned in the regular King James and it's in the book of Enoch. They are also known as the Watchers. They are known as the Jinn or the Hidden Ones and all of that shit. Reptilians exist. They exist. And I didn't need no cracker by the name of David Icke to tell me that. I knew that before I even heard about him. You know what I'm saying? Spirits. When you read the scriptures, sometimes words are interchangeable and they don't always have the same meaning. Like a demon could be a reptile, but also a demon can be a spirit that has refused to enter the light, into that reincarnation pool. So as opposed to being born again through reincarnation, they they remain a discarnated spirit. That's why people see ghosts, have haunted houses and shit like that, because those are spirits that refuse to reincarnate. Now, of course, the Most High Power, he, it's not going to force you to enter this life as a physical being. Yeah, you could roam around this motherfucker all you want, but in between now and resurrection day, you better make up your mind what you gonna do. Because Resurrection Day, that's it. You done had all the time. You had the bullshit around, play guessing games and all that. Resurrection Day, that's it for everybody. Ain't no more timeout. Ain't no more stalling, procrastinating. See, we got all the time in the world to
What,
make all the excuses and
right.
fuck ups we gonna do. But
Hmm.
um, yeah,
What is
spirits.
resurrection? What do you mean by Resurrection Day?
What I mean by Resurrection Day is this: everybody that has ever died, um, they are on this planet right now. They have went into the reincarnation pool. Some of them are discarnated beings. Like I said, that's why people see ghosts. I've seen ghosts before. So all of that shit I'm saying is real. But Resurrection Day is the day when all of this shit is gonna be revealed for what it is. And everybody, as far as those who doubted the existence of Christ, what Revelations say that even those who pierced him back then is gonna see him when he come back. So that's gonna be it. Resurrection Day is synonymous with Judgment Day, meaning that the planet will be judged finally. Ain't no more debates. Ain't no more camps. Ain't no more COVID-19. All that shit is done, and everybody gonna get their reward for what they did on this planet. Period. Until between now and then, people got you got all the choices you're gonna do, whether you're gonna be a saint, a sinner, whether you're gonna be a murderer or a thief, or you're gonna be righteous. You got all the time between now and Judgment Day to make up your mind. But just know
Absolutely.
when Judgment Day comes, that's it.
Okay. Yes, brother. Thank you for sharing that with us. And always, you know, I'm respectful of everyone's take on the Bible, and I agree with you in a lot of things you said.
Go
I'm
ahead,
just
tell
like,
me.
no, I'm not gonna. What I'm gonna say is this though. On the lines of the topic, bringing that into what we're talking about, what the subject is. Um, I think that instead of what, okay, don't get me wrong. We need to focus on doing the right thing. But I think we need to really start using a clearer language, something that is more effective than um I'm not going against what you're saying,
You
but what
saying
I'm
like Judgment Day, right? Terms
right,
like that, yeah.
let me tell you why. Nobody, people are, let me tell you, and this is for the elect as well, so to speak, not just, oh, well, that's because they're the 2/3. And no. Most of the people that are following, like you and maybe me, and then other people that say I want to keep the command, it's because something else was said that was more truth than someone saying, and I'm not castigating you, I'm on your side, I'm not castigating you, I'm not scolding you, but listen,
Uh-huh.
something hit home. You know what didn't hit home? Because we've been hearing it since we in Christianity.
Right.
God's gonna kill you. God's gonna kill you if you don't do that right. You know God's gonna kill you, right? You
Yeah,
know you
but
know,
you see, I'm not
no,
saying that though.
let me get my point out, brother, and then I'll let you jump in. I'm not saying you're wrong with that, but what I'm saying is there's a bigger picture. Of course, of course, people will be destroyed for not being in order and not following. Okay. And I'm not saying following a camp or what one man says. Well, God says you better do it this way. I'm talking about getting and completely giving all your exalting the almighty power and doing what he says you should do. Now people say, well, what is that? Is that Torah? Is that Ma'at? Is that following all the tenets of Buddhism? That's a different stream. For me, it's Torah. Let me tell you why it's Torah for me. Because Torah aligns with everything that I think I should be doing in life. But guess what? The laws of Hammurabi align with Torah. Are you guys hearing me right now? You guys see where
Yeah.
I'm going with this? Okay, and Ma'at aligns with Torah. Torah is paramount to me. Make no mistake. But if Torah is paramount to me and Torah aligns with Ma'at and Torah aligns with which by the way, I'm not saying follow Kemet to anybody. I'm saying this is the problem though. Look, no, don't cut me off. I gotta get this out. Please don't. I can feel you about to say something. But if you have anything that you follow, Ma'at, go back and follow the laws of Hammurabi, the tenets of Buddhism. The problem, now this is coming from Napah, for my experience and me receiving power from the Father and blessing. The problem is you don't exalt the almighty power. You don't put the almighty power over everything. And when you don't do that, even though there's wonderful laws that align with Torah, except for that very crucial, not exalting the Almighty. You have to exalt the Almighty. Now, wait. With that said, there's a plot twist. Torah, and I have to keep it a whole buck, says, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder," but the entire Tanakh has murders and wars going on in the name, so for man saying in the name of Yahweh. So for me, that's when I step back even from Torah. You hear me?
Yeah.
No, hold on, everybody. I want y'all to let this marinate and sink in. I step back from Torah, which I just said it's mine. That's what I follow. I follow Torah. However, I am a power. I am Napah. I am the daughter of Yahweh. I am a god. I am a goddess. This is my realm. So I don't have to put myself into Torah. Take a minute, everybody stop and breathe and wrap your minds around that. Give me 3 seconds of silence. You don't have to put yourself into Torah. I said it. You don't have to put yourself into any book. You draw from the book. And that's what the power, the Almighty said. He never said, put yourself in that book. He said, follow my laws and follow my rules, and I will bless you. Now, I take issue with people telling me, you're going against the Most High when you say, why did they kill in the name of Yahweh? Because those were our enemies and blah, blah, blah. No. I'm not disrespecting the book, but I'm talking about how I live my life. Because if the book says, thou shalt not kill, and then the book says, well, we killed them because they weren't following the Most High. Does the book say, thou shalt not kill? Yes, it does. So you see, I'm doing this for my own book, for my own. I'm putting myself out there for everyone, because what I'm trying to impart is, just because I follow the Torah doesn't mean that I'm going to sit back and say, if you don't follow this exactly like I follow it, the Most High is going to kill you. That for me, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then people would say, well, then you go against the Most High. I don't know what you're doing, but it's making some sounds over there. Look, it may not. Who is that, EJ or Yaakov?
That's probably me.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, I'm done moving around. Go ahead,
Brother,
man.
no, my point is this. We need to stop back telling people who's going to not make it, who's going to die, instead of let's start what's important. People are supposed to give all their praise to the Most High only. And yes, I believe in the Messiah. I don't pray to Jesus. I don't pray to Yahweh. I don't, because guess what? Yahweh didn't say, you better pray to me. He said that you go through the Father through me. What he's saying is, you learn how to live your life the way I live it, and you come to me through the Father. I showed you all the ways. I sacrificed my life. The Father sent me as the Messiah to show you how to be to be like him. That doesn't mean that I'm supposed to call Yahahwah a God and pray to Yahahwah. It means that I'm supposed to believe that he is the Savior, that he's the Messiah that came and showed us the way. When I say Savior, he came and showed us the way. He was the chosen one to show us the way. He was the one who lived perfectly. I've heard other people say, well, there were many Messiahs that lived perfectly. I'm still waiting. And I know people who don't believe in him say, well, you don't, my brother Rob said, you don't know what he was doing for all those years. And there's nothing saying that he's done anything that is against the Most High. Now, in the book, and I'm going on and on because I need to really get this all out. In the book, in the New Testament, it says, I'm like him. Because a lot of people came to him and said, well, why don't you have your men wash their hands? When Torah says this, and well, why are you healing people on the Sabbath? Torah said that. And he's like, you know what? Torah is for me. The Sabbath was made for me. I wasn't made for the Sabbath. Now, I'll hand that over to you and see what you got from all that I said. Anybody?
I ain't got no beef with what you said. I mean, you know,
No, go ahead. Like, you can expound on it. I'm going to be close
no,
to screen in a minute, though, but go ahead and, you know, what do you, does that, as a Bible believer and as a person who I hear you saying, which I'm not against what you said, I believe that too, that there is going to be, there are going to be miracles like that. The dead coming back to life and, you know, resurrection. But you know what Yahahwah said? He said, when Martha said, oh, if you would have been here, Lord, my brother wouldn't have died. And then he turned to her and said, your brother will live again. And she said, what my beloved brother, Yaakov, I have a lot of love for you, brother. You and a lot of people who believe in the Bible say, well, in the last day, and even I've said that, in the last day, and when the resurrection comes, but you know what the Messiah turned to her and said, brother? You know that scripture?
basically,
He turned to her and said, she said, in the last day, when the resurrection, he turned to her and said, I am the resurrection. He said, he that believeth in me
shall not die. Right. I remember.
So he was telling her, wait, you don't have to talk about waiting to the last day
No,
and
no, no, no,
get
no, no, no.
my spiritual powers. He said, right now, because prophecy was fulfilled in the sense of he came and he said, okay, Father, the Most High, it's my time. It's all a procession. It's in order. And now we have the ability to get in line. If all of us are in order, that's what's going to happen when people say, well, the end, we're going to all, those of us who believe and know that we have power and that we're God's and this is our realm and we have dominion over everything and that we just have to align with the Most High and really serve the Most High, not use our mouth to serve him. That's scripture. Those who serve me with their mouth, but they don't really serve me. So once the paradigm shifts and we all are in order, the so-called elect, the changes are already happening. Now, do I believe in the prophecy of Yahahwah coming back in the clouds? And that's esoteric and exoteric, and I can't really discuss that right now because the stream's been going long. But I will, if you want. You're talking about doing a Bible study. If you want, we can do a stream on that, and we'll talk about the end times and prophecy and things that people mock. Because I'm telling you, I'll say it right now. Miracles are going to start happening more and more, and people will be falling on their faces in fear, fainting.
You know what, Napa? I can tell you a miracle that happened some years ago.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
here.
okay. So the woman I was with at the time, she worked in the evening and she got off late. And so, what I would do is look out for, like, because I knew what bus she was getting off on, what the corner and all of that. And so doing my usual, you know, walking down the street, cutting through alleys and shit. And then I'm at this like parking lot. So I'm looking for her. I'm like, damn, where's she at? Right. So I'm standing there about 20 minutes. And the Dig Boys, well, that's what we call them in Chicago. The Dig Boys, they roll up. Now, the Dig Boys is detectives, right? And back then, the detectives, they drove around in these Caprice Classics. We call them bubbles. So they driving through the alley real slow. But I ain't got shit to worry about as far as they are concerned, because I'm not doing shit. I don't got nothing on me or nothing. I'm waiting on my girl to get off the bus or whatever, right? So I'm steady looking. I'm from corner to corner. I'm standing there in the same spot. All of a sudden, this black man, he appeared out of nowhere across the street from where I was standing at. And he just had on regular clothes. There was nothing really significant about what he had on. Had on a baseball cap, shirt, jeans, or whatever. And so I thought it was weird that he was standing right there, because I didn't see this motherfucker standing there right when I looked over there the first time looking for her. So he started pointing in a direction like towards his right. He wasn't saying nothing. He was just pointing, looking dead at me, pointing that way. So I looked, and then I see my girl coming up, walking up. So I'm walking towards her, right? So just when I get off that corner, the detectives, they pull up right there. When I turn back around to look at dude, because I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck he know where my girl was coming from? So when I turned to look at him, he wasn't standing there no more. He vanished. It wasn't even another bus that came by, so he couldn't have got on the bus. He was gone. But the thing about it is, the fucking police was right there, just sitting there. So I'm thinking to myself, what would have happened if I would have never walked off that corner? You know what I'm saying? They could have
Mm-hmm.
beat me up. They could have killed me. Any motherfucking thing. And there wouldn't have been no witnesses, because, back then people wasn't so, savvy about, the camera phones and shit. If something happened, it just happened. You know what I mean? So yeah, miracles happen all the time. But to get back to what you were saying about the Bible, the when you talk about murder and shit, and the Lord, he ordering, wipe out this, wipe out that, this, that, and the third. Like I was saying before, my understanding of the book is this: it's a story about a big, long, drawn out war between different factions of quote unquote alien groups fighting for control of the planet. And the main ones that's been warring is between the Israelites and these beings that's called reptiles or Nephilims or Anakims. It's always been just us two. The same story that these crackers and these directors, they like to throw in movies and films and shit. Like if you think about the movie Transformers, right? Now you had two extraterrestrial groups fighting for control of the planet, and there was a big war in space, and they both fell to Earth. And when they came down here, they picked up where they left off from Cybertron. It's the same thing that happened to us, the original Israelites, because we was in existence before we took on a physical form. We was already in the heavens or space, whatever our job was up there. And I guess one of the main duties or new duty that we took on from Yahahwah was to cultivate this planet. So some of us he sent down here. And I maybe ahead or before or after the war between Michael and whatever leading faction of these reptiles at that time, because you remember the Revelation talks about, it says it was a war in heaven, and Satan was cast down, and his angels came with him, right? So we've been fighting these motherfuckers for a long time, a long ass time. But anyway, going back to that, it's everything is always in context. As far as demons and um the resurrection day and all that other stuff. And I got your point what you were saying about Christ when he was speaking to that sister. So it's not even so much that people have to wait to be resurrected. Resurrection day and judgment day, that's a one time thing. But people, as I said before, everybody that has art that has, like my mother just passed away in February, right? And so yeah, we had a funeral and all of that. Now, of course, I'm different from everybody else in my family. So, everybody's talking about heaven and stuff like that. But I know my mom, she's not in heaven because the Bible don't say when people die they go to heaven. The Bible say people are asleep in the dust of the earth. So more than likely she's down here. She's already in a new identity. Whatever role the Most High had lined up for her, she's in that role, but she's sleep to who she was before. As in any other time, we've all reincarnated. Some of us 100,000 times over. Spirits or energy don't die; it just change over, right? So we come in and out of life all the time. You know, so everybody has already, if you got loved ones that passed away, they are on this earth, but they're in a new identity, and everybody is asleep to who they once was. You know what I mean? Everybody is asleep to that knowledge. It's a mercy. It's sort of like a mercy, right? Because think about this: if you are an eternal being, an immortal being, right, and you've had over 1,000 fucking lifetimes, right? The Most High would not burden you to recall all of your past lives, and you literally only got one life to occupy yourself with, the one life that you living right now in the current moment. So you living this life as Napa. You can't remember when you was married 100 years ago, or Joanne. The Most High is not going to burden you to carry those memories with you. But on Resurrection Day, everything is going to be brought to your memory of who you was from then to now. You know what I'm saying? But this time, in between time, we just got to ride this shit out. You know, so I don't too much disagree with anything you're saying. I just know that for me, it's a big ass war, and this COVID-19 shit, drug selling, gang banging, unemployment, anything that got to do with us. And matter of fact, the whole planet is at war. See, this is the thing that most people don't realize. The whole planet is at war. You know what I'm saying? It's just on different levels. It's on different levels, but it's a big ass war going on for real. But you can go ahead and talk though.
EJ, do you want to say something about that? Brother, thank you for sharing, and I'm sorry about your mom.
Uh, no, no, I was just listening. No, I was just listening. No, I got not really to say. I was just listening at this point.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, yeah, can
Oh,
hear, yeah, can
I
hear
was
you.
on mute. I thought I was not on mute. My bad. Well, I want to say welcome and hello to my sister I saw Overstand Daily TV and Sifu Low. Yes, Quantum Leap. Peace and love to the platform. Bless you, sis, and peace to you. And Proverb Nation, hello, brother. It has been appointed for a man to die once. All right, I left these dudes to take my place. I just want to say, you know what? I appreciate letting you. I'm glad I let you share, and I appreciate you sharing yourself with us, Yakovel, and also EJ. Thank you for your wisdom and knowledge that you brought to the platform. I'm gonna actually close the stream out now. So it's been going for a long time. Ram, I'm closing the stream. We can do a stream after this. I'm going to go ahead and get off here, though, because I wanted this stream to stay about, you know, demons and God. So I'm going to hopefully do a series on this. You want to say anything before I close the stream, EJ? And then Yakovel, you can just say good night to everybody. EJ, you want to close out, say something?
Yeah. Like I say, yeah, really enjoy your streams, and every time you are live, and that, I'm always there to support you and the rest of the guys in the chat. The subject matter today was very interesting. I would have liked a bit more on the demon side of it, because I feel like there's you shared quite a lot. I'm probably gonna have to like try and catch it at the start more and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed coming over. As you know, I'm over here in the UK. You know what I mean? But and obviously I see your support with Signetta, and I always watch Signetta's channel as well. So and obviously the other guy on the panel. So yeah, really good work. Really enjoy your streams and always and the subject matter. So if you guys want to chat me as well, I talk about boxing on my channel, EJ Boxing Live. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on YouTube. So you can follow me there. And yeah, I really enjoy your stream, and I look forward to your next one.
Thank you, brother. And I appreciate your support. And you know what, by the way, I'm a big boxing fan, so I got to go and check your channel out. Much love to the chat. I see True Justice. Rob, you waited till the end of the stream, and then you say you're going to jump on, but I'm going to check your live out and try to jump on yours if that's okay. Peace to everyone in the chat who showed love and all the wisdom coming from the chat for the most part. I just want to let everybody know in the chat that I have so much respect and love for you. When you don't have to come over here, and everybody that's listening even out there, you do not have to listen to me and my take on and my philosophy. So it's a real honor to have people actually tune in and listen. Even if you're just listening to just get a good laugh, I'm glad I could bring you that to your life. So, Yakovel, brother, thank you for jumping on. You shared a lot of yourself. That was pretty interesting. And so, if I do a Bible stream, you're talking about the Bible. I'll invite you on if I can get in touch with you. Oh, I think you do. You email me sometimes, but it's not Yakovel. It says something else. I think it says something else in your email, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, brother. Anything you want to say before you can have the last? Well, the last, kind of the last. Go ahead, brother.
I'll send you an email so you can know that's me. But it's all love, And I
Right.
got your point about demons and shit. Like, yeah, demons ain't nothing to be afraid of. You don't even have to be afraid of death, because when we die, we raised up. Especially those that know what's going on. Your conscience is gonna speak for you when you raised up. So you're gonna be put where you need to be. That's the thing
Oh,
about the
wow.
Most High. The thing, what? One of the things I love about the Most High is this, right? With the Most High, you can expect fair judgment. See, when you got to deal with human beings, you got to worry about somebody being biased or showing favoritism or some other stupid shit. But when it comes to the Most High, however he judge you, it's gonna be fair because you deserve that shit, whether
All
it's
right.
good or bad.
Hold that thought, because I'm going to close out with this particular. I'm going to get the scripture for you right now, because you're absolutely right. But I just want to say, you said consciousness. I'm going to try to do there's so many ideas. I want to talk about consciousness and how now science is studying consciousness, and they have determined in science, I'm talking about mainstream science, that there is consciousness after a body so-called dies. They did the research on resuscitated patients who were determined to be, clinically dead. You know what I'm saying? And then they were resuscitated. So that's a whole different stream. But I just want to get this scripture is hold on. Yeah, thank you. Just a second. The Most High is fair all the time. Let's get that. Numbers 23, verse 19. It says, the Almighty Power, God, is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So yes, he is not, he is there's none other. But thank you so much. Much love. Peace and black power. All praise to Yahahwah. Bahashem Yahushai. Much love to Just Acting. You just made it, brother. And yeah, so yeah, family, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend and have some fun if it's not too late for you. And I will say peace to the family and much love. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.